Hi.
Hi.
Tonight for 30 Tuesdays, we have the lovely ladies of Girls Gone Canon, and we will be
Woohoo!
talking about the Red Wedding.
Murder, murder, murder. Kill, kill,
I'm not
kill.
Yeah,
Catholic,
painful.
but
Yeah.
very
Cat
painful.
Thalic.
Yeah.
Cat Thalic.
Uh, I felt kind of nothing when I was watching it today. Is that weird?
Oh, I felt
Hmm.
everything when I was watching it today.
I got a little sad, but I don't know.
I was
I was
like,
feeling
I was
go-
horrified all over again.
I forgot that they did a bunch of other stuff and covered
Yeah.
other stuff that were not the Red Wedding in that
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
But and then I forgot that I thought it how dumb I thought it was that they brought Talisa
Hmm
or whatever her name is, and then yeah, I really related with what we're dealing with right now on Reddit. So
The Reddit wedding.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I think that I watched it and I watched up to the scene because I was like, wait, I forgot that all that other shit happened. I was like, oh, and then I texted Tanya about how I missed old Dario Naharis, which is
Amen. Hallelujah.
we did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I was like,
That's my
I missed him
man's.
bad.
miss old Dario.
He just looked like he was nasty, you know?
Right.
I mean, I like New Dario and that I
Mhm.
like Orphan Black, right? But then the show that I actually never watched the last season of, I started a rewatch and now it's off Amazon again, but old Dario just had
The
he had the
swagger.
attitude. Yeah,
Yeah,
he had
the
the right
swag.
attitude.
Old
You
Yeah.
Dario was
you wanted that.
100% eated dragon booty.
Yeah.
You took
Yes.
the words out of my mouth.
Like he was doing stuff Daenerys didn't know people did.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's how I felt about him. The way
That's
he
how
would
I
look
felt
at
about
her
him
and
too.
smirk and
You wanted to know what was in those
a whole
pantaloons.
new world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. You know I have theories.
Anyways,
We'll talk about that offline.
So-
So I didn't get to that part, but I did go when I read the chapter, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, there's so many. It made me wish that they had done a lot of the things that happened in the chapter in the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me
Ugh.
too.
Specifically the terrible music by the musicians who weren't
Mhm.
musicians, because that part, like, to read that and know that they like actually had people who could play like during the wedding and the show, I was like, but you missed something that was essential.
Mhm.
It's interesting because in later seasons they had entire episodes that were like dedicated to just like one event or thing, and I wonder, I wonder if they did the whole show again, would they be like willing to do that for the Red Wedding, right? Devote an entire episode to it. I don't
I
know if
think
you
that would be
could,
cool.
but
I think
yeah,
you
it would be
could.
cool.
I think you could because it wouldn't be just the wedding, you know, because thinking about the book. So I watched the episode and then I reread the chapter. But in the chapters leading up to the red wedding, there's so much foreboding, and
Mhm.
you just get this feeling of dread because of Catelyn's mood. And I
Yeah.
think that if they could have found a way to just kind of make us uncomfortable in the whole like first half of Catelyn traveling and being worried, and all of
Yeah.
her noticing all these little things, noticing that the band isn't good, that the food isn't good.
The fact that she's got a
Um,
headache the whole time. Her
yeah,
head is
headache the
pounding,
whole
pounding,
time.
Rude.
pounding from the music, and the
All of
food
the
is
missing
terrible.
phrase, missing
Yeah.
phrase,
Hmm.
all of that could be put into to make this like
Oh,
one episode. Make
Agreed.
it an
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
episode. All of that could be, I think, put in.
I mean, weddings last a long time. It really could have been.
yeah.
Yeah. Even as far as like start the episode at Old Stones and then you end it with the Stark downfall because you have Old Stones, you have the Targaryen seat that now is nothing and all of the sadness that happened there. And then boom, you just murder all the Starks, and that'll be a great parallel for the end of it. Not that
Can you
I've thought
highlight-
about it, but
I know, but can you highlight Peter Griffin's second to last comment, please?
Always hated Rob and Caitlin. What a glorious read the Red Wedding was. Long live the Boltons. You know what?
But you know what? I feel you if you're talking about show Catelyn and show Rob, because she gets on my nerves. So actually, no, that's what Catelyn gets on my nerves too. I'm rereading Game of Thrones, and I was just like, every chapter that like every one of her chapters, I start to dread it. I'm like, oh God, can't we just skip it? There's just so much that's important, so you can't skip her chapters. So I'm with you. I'm with you, Peter Griffin. I don't know about Long Live the Boltons, but like, the rest
Well,
of it.
I mean, if he's a vampire, then Roose Bolton has in fact lived a very long time, according to some theory,
Right.
the Bolt on theory.
Yeah.
But
And
I don't know. I used to hate
I would
Catelyn, but now I love
argue,
her.
yeah.
I love Lady
so-
Stoneheart.
Yeah, I love Lady Stoneheart, but Catelyn, not so much. There was one, so there's like one little tiny inconsequential change that has annoyed me ever since it aired when they're doing the betting ceremony.
Yes,
And she
that
says
annoys
that
me
Ned
too.
wouldn't allow it. That little change annoys me so much because I'm like, no, Cat, you went through it too. Why would they change that?
Let's talk about that because
Yeah, because
I
Desmond
forgot.
Grell is so cute. Because he's all like, "I'm so sorry," and he's like, "Oh, you're so hot. I'm so sorry. Oh, you're so
Right,
hot."
right.
It's my favorite
Just
part.
like drunk and apologizing and then being body and yeah.
Yeah,
That
They were
telling
all
that
like,
her
"Whoa,
firm young
Catelyn's." Yeah, they were all like, "She's stacked," and we
Right.
know,
It was
but
Lord Dustin says that after he sees
yeah,
her breast that he wishes he was nursing still or something
it's
like
kind
that.
of
yeah.
no wonder Barbary
Yeah,
Dustin
Barbary.
is so mad.
Oh yeah, I would be too. Fuck that bitch. Yeah.
I love all these people, but I'm also like, lol. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it would have provided like a nice contrast, because like Catelyn's talking about, we learn about her betting, and then we see what's happening
Yeah.
with the Frey girl that's getting married, and it's like
Also,
such a contrast
sorry.
because she's like Catelyn's like not that she's excited about it, but she knows it's going to happen, and in the book, like Edmure's, she's like crying and she
I was
doesn't
just
want
about
it to
to say
happen.
that.
That
Well, that's what
contrast
we
would be
think.
really
That's
cool.
what we think is
Yeah.
that she doesn't want it to happen. But what we realize is that she probably
Yeah.
knew that everyone's going to be murdered at her wedding.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
worst.
Why they let them in on that? Why
Worst
would they
wedding.
let her in on that secret? That seems
Oh,
like
man.
classified information.
To
Well,
make sure
then,
she's
'cause
safe.
and they had to tell her this is why your brothers can't be here, right? Your brothers who are like
Yeah.
stark apologists.
Right. I mean, one of them, Oliver, was his squire.
Yeah.
And it's like, why
Loyalist, I
isn't,
guess.
there would be a reason, like, why isn't his squire here?
Yeah.
Why are all these important people missing?
Having that line of questioning would have been so great to see portrayed on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the sadness that, like, in book, I will say, I love that Catelyn sits there and, like, she remembers her own, but she doesn't think really fondly as much. She just thinks, like, oh, it's just generational. She'll probably hate it like we all had to, but they'll have happy babies. My brother will make her happy. He's so fucking happy. She's hot.
She says, I hope he's
Yeah.
gentle with the girl.
Yeah, yeah. And she's like tired though, like the tiredness of Catelyn in the chapter and the weariness is what comes through. And like every chapter in Storm is that. And not to brag, but covering all the chapters in a row like that, POV by POV, makes you realize you're like watching Catelyn on this horrible journey where she's losing everything and she's making probably bad political mistakes, trying to hang on to the last bit of her family she has left. And she thinks honor and duty and sacrifice will win them this battle, and just like cow yourself a little, and lo and behold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question? Because what you were just saying, Chloe, is that for you, Eliana, did covering those Catelyn chapters back to back make you change your opinion on her? What was it that made you like? What made you go from hating her to loving her?
I actually liked her before doing that reread. I think on my first read through or so, I didn't really love the cat because like she asked all these rhetorical questions and I was like, girl, you know this, and then like, but then like on a different reread that I was doing, because I had once upon a time organized like a book club with strangers over.
Yeah, we tried that.
In real life, there's people in New York, but anyways, yeah, got people together, and then like rereading it, I was like, oh my god, Catelyn holds together all of A Clash of Kings. Like she is the core, I think, that like the through line that holds the whole thing together, and also I think really I don't know, understand her perspective much more, and I came to really love her chapters. Yeah, Chloe, how about you?
Well, another thing Eliana always says is that she's Catelyn's age, right? So that always recontextualizes it for me.
Yeah, she's all like, "Oh my god, I'm so old. This younger generation," and I'm like, "Bitch, we're still hot." Like, what are you
Well,
saying? I know your
before,
boobs aren't that saggy. Like, come on. But
Yeah.
well, I
anyways,
don't know. After all them kids, maybe.
okay,
Speaking
yeah,
of
yeah.
someone
True.
who's had
True.
more than one,
true.
things
True.
don't.
But I was,
It
yeah,
doesn't
I
all
was just like,
stay in place when you take your clothes off anymore.
Mm-mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
that's true
why
for
would
me
I be
too.
so
That's true for me
disappointed in you?
too. But I'm still
But
just like,
but she is young because in Game of Thrones, she even says, her and Ned could still have another baby. Rickon is only like 3 in the books, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Yeah.
I had children older than Kat, so well, my children weren't older than Kat. I was older than Kat.
And
But
my
I was
grandma used to
watching-
say that like after 6 of them they just walk out, so I mean that's what my
Yeah,
grandma said.
Yeah.
She had,
my
like,
grandma had
9.
11, so they must.
Yeah, my grandma had
Yeah.
9. They all grew up on a farm, very Catholic, and I'm like, oh girl,
Mhm.
you're
Catholic.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
one
all
of my
crazy.
grandmas had 9, one had 6, and the one who had 9 had them back to back every year.
That's
Every other
crazy.
It's
Like that's
funny.
a
I
lot.
saw these kids this guy got on the train with his 3 daughters, and this woman was like, how old are they? And he was like 3, 4, and 5, and I was like,
Oh, that's
no
a
wonder your
household.
wife isn't with you.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I like Kat. I mean, I don't like I don't know, there aren't a lot of characters POV wise I don't like. Like I stand up for
Yeah.
I don't it also for me I guess isn't like not
Yeah.
to be like that. It's not about likability, I guess, because every single one of
Mhm.
them brings something different, right? Like I actually love Aries Oakheart chapters, and people are
There's
like,
one.
"What?" I know,
Singular.
and that's why I like it.
Aries.
One, it's easy. It's one. You get to see this like really sad himbo lose his honor over something stupid, like,
Mhm.
and then later see him even worse in another POV. It's great though. Like I'm just like, wow, what a character! What an insight into a
Mm.
character I never would have noticed. And Kat has some like love or hate her, she has some of the most pivotal and most important chapters in
She
the whole
does.
story.
It's true.
Yeah,
She
that's
takes
true.
us more places in Westeros than many other characters do that we have. And
That's true.
I think that that perspective of just like having for 15 years straight on and off, just having kids, doing your duty, living somewhere you probably didn't know if you'd ever fit in, having to mother a kid that you're like, well, I can't hate my husband because he's my husband, so I guess I'll just hate this kid. Ha ha ha. Like that's not good. It's complex though, and it's interesting. And I like that.
I think part of what makes Kat's chapter so important is that we don't have a Rob point of view.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So everything
Yeah.
about Rob learned from Kat.
Yeah.
So her
And
chapters
his
are
siblings.
absolutely
Oh,
Say
and
that
his
again?
siblings.
and his siblings.
Yeah.
But as far as Rob on the road, we get
On tour.
Rob on
Live.
tour. we get this information from Kat, and so her chapters are pivotal.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good point to bring up, because I don't think I'd ever really considered that. But yeah, it's like you're getting pivotal plot points in all of her not all of it, but like in her chapters.
As far as not liking, what you said about it's not about likability.
Right.
I absolutely love Cersei chapters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Cersei's
god,
a
yeah.
horrible person, and I
Yes.
love her chapters. She's
I
so
love it.
insane, and I absolutely love reading her chapters so much, even though like I don't like Cersei.
Right.
She's a bad person.
Yeah.
I like those
Yeah.
places
The
of
chapters.
vulnerability, right? That they both come from
Yeah.
as like mothers in different ways, and like the things that drive them and the things that stick in their
Mhm.
heads that they can't get out of their heads, right? That you're like, get
Yeah.
over it, and they don't, and it's
Yeah.
their downfall. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that crap.
Yeah.
That fierce mother
George.
love happening in both of them, and just like where it takes them.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Hashtag
thought
mother.
something that stood out to me on the reread of this chapter was like when she was thinking like, I don't even care about my life anymore. Like, don't kill my son. She's like, you can imprison me. And then she goes like, I don't know if she says it a lot or if it's in her interiority, but she's like, they can imprison me, they can rape me, they
Yeah.
can kill me. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, she's in it. She's
Yeah.
just like, just
Yeah.
don't kill my son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think she said it out loud, but it was
No, I
definitely.
think it was
Yeah.
internal.
It was her thinking. It was internal, but it
Yeah.
was her thinking.
Might be able to
And
find
yeah,
it.
that's crazy to be like, you can imprison me, you can rape me, you can kill me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just let my son go. Whew.
Yeah.
Having
Mother.
children is scary.
Yeah,
That's
you two
true.
balance us out. We don't have them. We're only children with no children, so lots to learn
You're
from one
both
another
only
today.
children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So well adjusted. I would have never have guessed.
I don't know about
Thank you.
that. Thanks. We have each other.
Yeah, we do.
That's really good.
Yeah, all of my best friends are women who are only children who are
Same.
left-handed.
Yep.
It's a very specific type.
I'm
Yeah.
left-handed.
Are you an only
there-
child?
No.
No.
Oh,
I have
well,
siblings.
we can still be close.
Wait, are all of you? Wait, Chloe, are you left-handed too?
I'm
I am, yeah.
right-handed. I'm the only right-handed one amongst my best friends.
Are you?
I'm right-handed.
Oh my god. Me and
But I'm not
Tanya
an
are
only
just.
child. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay,
I'm like,
true.
how do I? We're right here. Yeah.
I know my mirror's like reversed when I raise
That
my
was a
left. It looks
left-handed
like my right, but
problem.
You
this
guys
is
could
my
start a
left.
whole con. Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of vague. We can workshop it, but
Oh, wow.
What is
back to that
normal-handed?
murder. Back to that murder. Yeah,
What
normal
is
handed.
normal-handed?
What is
How
that
does that
mean?
mean?
My
That's-
substitute
That means
her
sons didn't beat him.
it's the feet.
Yeah. Oh, it's the feet. Oh my god.
I don't
I have
know.
a question for you,
Yeah.
ladies. I have a question. Would you rather marry?
Jesus Christ.
Are we gonna play this game?
Are you doing like what is it? Kill, marry, fuck,
No,
marry,
just
kill,
would you
whatever?
rather? This is a
Okay.
one or two.
Okay.
I'm not going to complicate it with a third. We're not going to play that card tonight. We're just going to go one or
Okay.
two.
Just
Would
gonna
you
press
rather
this
marry? Would you rather marry Bruce Bolton or Walder Frey, and give your reasonings why? Round circle. Tanya, you can go first.
I'll go first. Bruce Bolton.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Walder
True.
Frey is old. Bruce Bolton, I feel like, is probably the get it over with type. I feel like Walder Frey would want you to do nasty shit with him. No thanks, bye.
Yeah, Bruce Bolton for me as well because Walder Frey doesn't have any teeth, and I think he'd want to spit in his mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
Can't let. He's like 90. Like I can't let a toothless 90-year-old man spit in my mouth. That's just
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you said, I feel like Bruce is like all duty for him.
Yeah.
You know, he's just the one who
Yeah.
just, like,
Kind of like
gets this
Stannis,
over
right?
with.
Done. All right.
Right. I'll take my 5 pumps and then, you
Let
know,
me go stroll
go
around.
take my nap.
For the dread for it after that.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know which one's better or worse because Roose does rape Ramsay's mom, but at the same time I'm like, at least I think Fat Walda seems happy, like
Yeah,
it
he
seems
said she
like
squirms, right? He said she squirms.
The
and
noises
moans.
she makes. She makes
Yeah.
little noises. Yeah,
But,
I
like-
think that he's a freak.
I mean, not even that. At least like Roose would, I think, probably like leave me alone to have like a pretty decent life elsewhere. But then,
Yeah.
it sounds like Walder Frey just does not care. Would think I was just like, a very nice accessory to have
A
around.
fleshlight.
Roose, yeah. Roose Bolton would at least be like, I don't know, yeah, that's my wife. Are you like okay? How are things? He would want to make sure that I was having a good time because if I'm having a bad time, that reflects poorly on him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In or out of the bed? Because I feel like he doesn't
Oh,
really
no.
care inside.
think-
Because it's like, because he's like, I want to produce an heir, right? That's why we're doing this. I don't know that there's any romance, but
I
I
don't
think
mean
that
in the
I think
bed,
for
yeah.
but I think for similar to what you're saying, that like just for optics, he's like, I'm gonna make sure my lady's well treated because I don't want anybody to say that
Yeah.
she's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think he
Whereas,
makes sure
like-
I had like good food and I don't know, nice clothes
Yeah.
and shit.
Whereas Walder's like, kill her, I'll get another one.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Disposable. Wives are disposable to him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Roos,
That-
is
that
like,
is
will
the
like you
comments
what- no
here.
matter what size you are.
5
my God.
pumps. He must have had a fermented crab that morning. That is the most disgusting thing.
Yeah.
I ate fermented shark once, so I can't even. And it was horrible, and I can't imagine what fermented crab.
What did it
was.
taste
I
like?
think fermented crab probably tastes good.
I think so,
Fermented
too.
shark.
I
was
eat
like
yeah.
you had fermented
Fermented
shark?
shrimp. I probably had fermented crab, not shark.
I had fermented shark, and it was as if like somebody took a chicken breast and marinated it in cod liver oil for like 3 weeks, and then you eat it raw.
Hmm.
It was
That's
horrible.
unfortunate. I ate shark once, but it was like marinated in lemon, and St. Lucian's made it. It was delicious.
Oh, I didn't. I
getting
just went to
hungry
St. Lucia
now.
recently, so
Oh,
I wish I'd tried that.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
that later.
Okay.
Lucia. I'm just
Well, it was,
posting some comments.
Yeah, I like what
Silent
Joanna
Picture.
DeArmond said. Joanna said Roos, but we'd have to ship off Ramsey, which is
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, boarding
That's it.
school all the
Yeah.
way.
because
Yeah.
here's the
Yeah,
deal: is like,
that's
yeah,
true.
Walder's fine to get rid of you, but like Ramsey's behind you, dogging your shadow. Ha, no pun intended. And he's like ready to murder you. Like,
And
your
do you
baby.
really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you
Feed
have
you
a
to
better
his
chance.
dogs.
Yeah, you have a better chance of Walder dying sooner. Well, maybe not,
Mm.
knowing how
I
Ramsey
don't
is,
know.
right?
Me and
But-
Tanya were just talking,
Equal.
talking about how evil lives forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's gonna die first in T-Wow? Ramsey or sorry, no, Roos or Walder? Who's gonna die first?
I wonder if I could figure out. I wonder if I could get away with trying to kill
Mm.
Ramsey.
You'd have to do it
Yeah.
though. Like you can't miss.
You have to. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Mhm.
And you
I'd
can't
probably go
poison him
Roos.
because I bet he like takes poisons on the low just to like
Oh,
go
yeah.
in.
Like in the
definitely
Princess
has
Bride.
someone yeah, yeah. He definitely has people tasting his food. Ramsey.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
He's suspicious.
Mm.
He's also
He probably
probably
has
like poisoning
Leon
his
taste his
own
food.
food and making people test it. Like, you should try this. It's fun.
Oh my
Some
god,
Jared
that's
Leto
totally
shit.
a Ramsey thing to do.
Just killing
Wow.
off his food tasters.
Mhm.
Well,
For
I
I
fun.
learned a
would have
lot
Theon
about
tasting everything.
all three of you tonight. A lot more about all three of you, and I really love that.
Wait, who was your choice?
Oh, Roos, absolutely. He's
Okay.
a freak. He's an absolute freak. He's like, I like the way she squirms. He's not a 5 pump and done. That's like he might go for it.
That's a Ned
Okay.
Stark, right?
Like, yeah. It's kind of funny. It's actually like really charming when he says that in the book and he talks about it. He's like, actually, I'm quite fond of my fat little wife. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a fat little wife. Okay. Okay. Yeah, totally, Roos. But you're totally going to get murdered by Ramsey. So it's like really what's, make it good is all.
It's unanimous, aka cross that off your bingo card. All of us vote for Roos.
Yeah, all of us are fucking Roos now.
Wow.
We should all change our names to Bolton now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch Love Is Blind?
No.
I don't,
Oh,
but I
it's okay.
my
Never
sister
mind.
watches
It's
it.
okay. It's
Tells
okay.
me
Sorry,
about it.
Eliana.
It's
So
okay.
sorry.
There was just this one moment where one of the women goes, "I'm gonna be Mrs. Bolton." And I like took that down as a little like gif. And then I think I put it to like Fat Walda after Reese chooses her.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's also funny how she talks about Fairwalda, how she didn't get chosen, and she's still a maid, and
Right.
she's almost 19.
Oh no,
Oh, no. Not 19, she might actually survive childbirth. Oh no.
Oh,
My dad's side of the family is really big, and like I don't spend a lot of time in it, but I'm somewhat good friends with some of them, and I keep them at a distance, love them to pieces. I just don't live near them. But like the gossip when it is together is nuts. It's total nut. It's like that when you have a huge family across like different cousins, where you're like, well, so and so this, because they all hang out, because they all live across the street, and they're all visiting each other's manses and keeps constantly. Because he's got all these children, like, so
Right.
you're always going to the twins, or you're going across the stream, you're here, you're married to the Lannisters, so you're holding banquets, you're this, like, it's
Mhm.
gonna be so gossipy. I want like an Edith Wharton side
Oh,
novella of the Phrase and Bolton's like side.
Mm.
Well, Nikki and I have talked about doing a Real Housewives of Westeros.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think
Yeah.
because I think it would be really fun to just like take all of the wives' perspectives. It doesn't even have to be like just the major houses, but just like ones that are
Yeah.
mentioned. Just because think about the things they must talk about. Like, look at Cersei, another blonde baby.
Mm.
Ah. Yeah.
How many ounces are we all in?
Oh well,
Everyone?
I already went through 9.6. I don't know how
Well,
many.
I
ounces
can
this
I
last
can't have
one, but-
32. Oh, we didn't talk about what we were drinking. Go ahead.
No, we
Tony, you
didn't.
start.
Oh, so I was drinking Dragon Stout Fire. It's a Jamaican
Yum.
stout, one of my favorites. It's very like stouty but kind of sweet. And now I am drinking rum punch that I made this weekend.
Oh, it was
Yum.
delicious.
I make excellent rum punch.
Damn.
Wow.
It is delicious.
try.
However, it is really strong, and so I'm trying to sip it slowly. And if I drink
Shout out to that
32
Ray and
ounces of
Nephew.
it, yeah, Ray and Nephew, Jamaican rum, 63% alcohol. If I drank
Yeah.
32 ounces of this, I would die live on the air. So,
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Speaking of dying live on the air, I'm not drinking 32 ounces of this because I would also
You would die. You would die.
Oh,
it
there
wasn't
she
just Tully.
is.
Yeah.
Tully's Scotch.
Tully Scotch.
Yum.
It's delicious,
What are you ladies
actually. I'm
drinking?
very
Yeah.
happy with it.
I haven't tried that one, so when I come over,
I'll save
I'll
some.
try it.
Oh.
What are you ladies drinking? Indeed, AK, it is Mary Poppins' favorite
I
flavor.
have
love that movie.
this Macaulay, which is the Korean carbonated rice wine. It's
Ooh.
nice and sweet, 6%, which is like a normal amount for I guess what a beer would probably be.
Mhm.
Yeah. And this one's 1,000 milliliters, which I had to be like, how many ounces is that? So I calculated in the store. It was like 33. I was like, perfect.
Perfect.
What about you,
And
Chloe?
please send me that because I want to try that.
It looks so good, doesn't it?
It does.
There's
Kind
a
of
lot of
good.
different. There's a lot of
It looks
different
like milk
brands.
of the poppy.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
different brands. I'll send you just like the spelling for this one and how other people spell it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love that. I've been doing a lot of coconut. Oh, I might be frozen. I don't know what's going on in my head. Sorry, guys. I don't know where my head went there. I was out of here. Whew. I have been doing a lot of pressed coconut water, actually, like with liquor lately, and it's been delicious. So that's what it
Never
looks
tried
like.
that.
You gotta. Oh, it's really
What kind
good.
of liquor?
Vodka, rum, mostly
I
those.
feel
It's
like
been
rum
pretty
and
good.
coconut would be really good.
Yeah, really good,
Yeah.
really good. But I'm not doing that tonight, so it doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. I'm drinking seltzers. I'm taking it easy. I'm stacking all of my ounces right now. I have a beautiful sword.
Your wizard staff. That's what people would call it, right? When they would like finish a beer and add it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ooh,
I love
Dario
the
Naharis
commitment.
is Iraq, like so sexy. I don't know what's going on with that man, but I think about him a lot.
Yeah.
And what he did in this episode, phenomenal, man. But
Yeah.
so local seltzer, 2 wrappers, really good. And it's like I got like a berry peach and a mango orange. I've got both. I got options.
Wait, so there's 4 of them?
Yeah, there's 4, just in
If you
case.
stack
of
them
the
both up,
32.
you've got the twins. There you
Oh,
go.
Oh my god!
There you go.
Wow,
yeah.
you
Tear
did
that
it.
shit down. Hate that place. Fuck those twins.
we were such Frey apologists.
We were though. We really were. Because I mean, this was
Really?
this is your one chance. Like you've been like trying to make your shit not stink for so long. This is your one chance. Like this is like the McPoyles getting back at Patty's Pub. Okay, like this is like
It is. That's exactly
Straight
what
up.
it is.
this is
That
like the
is
Trailer Park
exactly what it
Boys,
is.
right? Like
Right,
this is
right.
Oh,
Ricky
the
and Julian
McPoyles.
going off. This is
Yeah.
There are so many phenomenal cultural moments we could compare this to, honestly.
No,
That's true.
The
I thought
McPoyles
about
are
that when I was
absolutely
watching it this
praised.
time. And I was just like, I don't like the phrase, but like, this was their like it was so well planned and so well executed. They ended the war.
Exactly.
They
You know
ended
what?
the war. And I hate them for it, but like, they got disrespected in their own house.
And okay, let's talk about that. So
They're
in the
great
books,
event
Rob
planners.
doesn't bring Jane, but in the show, why would you bring her? Why would you
Right.
bring her? It's just
There's-
adding insult to injury.
There's so many
Why is he so
questions around
stupid?
everything that they did with Talisa. So many questions that I have.
Can you highlight AK's comment, the last one, please? Oh no, the one before that. Oh no, the one after that. Yeah, there.
Uh,
Walder Frey be like,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
funny.
yeah.
he did break, guest right, which is
Yeah.
But they broke a vow.
However,
But it's like a vow for a vow, right? Like they vowed to like make his daughter a queen, and he vowed not to hurt them in his house. And like vow
Yeah.
breakers.
I mean,
Takes real
Walder
recognized
Frey
Yeah.
is wrong, but at the same time, it's like they contributed. They went against the crown, like they're not like
yeah, they
a
committed
powerful
treason.
house. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they gave
Yeah.
a lot of men to
Yeah.
Rob's cause. A lot of people died for Rob, and he's like, but what if I let my trauma about my bastard brother lead me to marrying the first girl I ever banged?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So it's like, so in the books, it's because she comforted him, right? So he took her maidenhead.
Mhm.
He felt like he owed her. So it's this sense
Good.
of honor that is just, bruh, please move on from
He
that.
does own
Yeah.
her.
Too much like
Um,
Ned.
I was
Too
just
much
like,
Ned.
no, Ned didn't marry. You know, it's like hit it and quit it. Is
Yeah.
all I feel. That's what I told Rob. You know, but
Like,
But he just
don't-
didn't
but don't
listen,
tell
did
him.
he?
There's nothing like the first time.
Poor Eliana.
but
I just have this picture of you, Eliana, like speaking to your book, like, no, Rob, no, don't do it. And him not hearing you behind the pages. And you just frustrated,
Yeah.
no.
Rob,
then he
just
did
learn
it.
from me. You know, ghost on the person who took your first time.
Oh, mood. That's a big mood. Been there.
All right,
Uh,
what was your reaction the first time you did you experience it with the books or the shows first?
Sex? Oh,
No. Well, I mean,
That's another stream.
that'll take a while to talk about.
Let me go. Like the first time I saw the Red Wedding episode, I wasn't watching Game of Thrones yet, and it was the first episode I saw. I was half asleep on my sister's couch because we were about to go home for, I don't know, Thanksgiving or something, and I kept like waking up and being like, I was like, what are you watching? She's like, Game of Thrones. I was like, okay, whatever. And like I'd fall asleep, and then I woke up and everybody was being murdered at a wedding, and I was like, what is this? And then like the show ended, and it was just silence, and I was like, oh. So that's that thing everybody's talking about, huh? And she was like, yeah. And then it took me a little while after that to like actually start watching it. But that was my first that was my first exposure to the show.
What was your first experience with the Red Wedding? Book or show, Eliana?
Book. I didn't know when it was gonna happen, but I'd accidentally gotten spoilers about Rob because some asshole on like a random Facebook comment that was like on a completely unrelated thing had spoiled it. So I knew Rob was gonna die. I just didn't know when.
Mm.
But when someone mentioned the term red wedding once, like I was like, that sounds like a time it could happen. I don't know what that is, but anyway, so I got there and I was like, it's here. I think it's here.
Aw.
What about you, Chloe?
I watched season 1 and 2, and then I started the books, and I was reading the third book like during the third season. So I want to say the show might have got me first. Like I don't know. It's been, a long time. I don't know if you know this about this episode. It's been a long time.
It's been 84 years.
I only know exactly. Literally, that's how I feel. Hashtag Titanic. Hashtag SEO. Hashtag SEO. Pick up the likes.
Hashtag RIP those people.
Yeah, no, for freaking real.
Yeah.
And these people on this video
Yeah.
that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
The Starks, the other real people that are dead. And
Yeah.
what are you gonna tell me? They are real, right? No. I watched it though with people. I watched it with like my ex-fiance. So that's cool. And 10 years ago. And life comes at you fast, big changes. So my ex-fiance, but my best friend and I were watching it with him, and like we did not know, I don't think we knew what was coming. So I want to say I didn't get there yet in the books. Like I think that's my final jurisdiction on it in the next 12 ounces as I begin. But yeah, it was very wild. We were freaking out. And that was also like when I was like, I gotta finish the rest of these books that are out. I gotta finish them right now. They need to be done like in the next week. And they actually probably were. Like I'm pretty sure they were. And then I was like, now I have to reread them. And then I was like, now I have to go online and find every place I can read more about them. Then I was like, I have to read every theory that's ever been written about this and hyper focus. And then I met Eliana, and now I have a podcast, and now I talk about it all the time. And here we are talking about it right now. So
I love it.
I love it too. My first time was in the books. I heard about the show on Twitter, but I didn't watch it. And I found out it was based on books. So I was like, I'm going to read the books instead. And then I read the first book and was like, this is fucking fantastic. I'm going to watch the first season. And it went on like that. So I read the first 2 books in the summer, like right before the third season started. So I read the third book, Storm of Swords, right before season 3. So I hit the Red Wedding in the books and before like season 3 started. And I just remember being completely horrified. And then everyone says they threw their book, but like I had to just like toss it. Like it was just kind of like, ugh. Like
Yeah.
that didn't just happen. And I picked it up and I like reread different parts of it because I was like, my brain wasn't accepting that like the star of the show has just died. Especially
Right.
because with Ned, I was like, how's he gonna get out of this? And
Yeah.
his head is on the block, and I'm like, how's he gonna get out of it now? And then his head gets cut off, and I'm like, how's he gonna get out of it?
Is he gonna
Um,
come back?
Like
Yeah,
the Anakin meme, the Anakin and Padme meme. He's gonna come back, right?
right.
Yeah.
Right?
So I
No.
experienced it in the books first, and the thing that really messed me up was reading the Arya chapter right after because it ends with her being hit in the head with an axe, but you don't know if it's like the blade or not. And so I thought Arya had been killed too. And at this point, it's like 2 a.m. I have work to get up for, and I skipped ahead and started looking to see if there were any more Catelyn or Arya chapters, and I saw that there were more Arya chapters. So I was like, okay, Arya is alive, but I think Catelyn
Right.
is really dead, and it like completely broke me. So by the time I saw it on the show, I thought that like I've already seen this. It's not going to be a big deal, but then they lead with stabbing a woman in the fetus, and
Yeah.
even today, I watched it again today, and even today, like I remember gasping and like covering my face as if I'd never seen this.
That's the
before.
worst part of it, I think. Like that part for me every time is the worst, especially because like in the show that they're doing that thing. Oh, what's the baby's name gonna be? It's gonna be a boy or girl. How do you know? I'm gonna name it Adod. You know, and then they stab the
Don't you
baby
want to
first
teach little Ned Stark to ride horses? And they
Ugh.
stab her in the fetus.
in the fetus.
And
You know,
it's
it's
so
like-
like tropey. Like you look at what season 5 or 6 with Carsey, the free folk woman, and the shit they do with her and the children, and it's like the same move from them. And I'm like, interesting.
Also, like, how fucked up are they when you think about the changes they've made? And they're like, hey, instead of his wife not being at the wedding, how about we have her at the wedding and pregnant and she gets stabbed in the fetus? Like, bruh, are y'all okay?
We can stab
No,
this
they
plot and her.
They weren't, but they were. I guess that was their way of being like, this is how we're gonna up the ante on
Yeah.
Two
George.
birds, one stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
I remember
Yeah.
when I read it for the first time after I had seen it, I I was crying on the train, even though I knew it was gonna happen. I was like, I got to my stop right as I finished the chapter, and I was just like, and then I got back to my apartment. My friend was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, they died. And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, and he's like, "You're talking about a book?" And I was like, and then he like left. He like left the apartment, closed the door, and I was just like, it was sad. That also happened when one of the dragons died.
I was living
Aw.
alone at
I
the
was
time,
probably
so I had
PMSing.
nobody to talk to.
Oh,
I was just up in the middle of the night, just like, this is some bullshit. And then I went to there used to be a bookstore in I worked by Grand Central Station Terminal, and there used to be a bookstore there called Posman's Books. And I remember I got to the terminal, got off the train, went straight to Posman Books, bought Feast for Crows, and then went to work because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going with this.
yeah. I would read at a cafe near my house. I would walk up there and get like I was working like PM, like 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So I was working on like an Office Max at the time, and I was just like, okay, I gotta get ready for the closing shift. I'm gonna go eat like a big old thing of hash browns and drink endless coffee and read this Game of Thrones crap. And I would walk on my little butt up, read, and then I'd go, oh, it's 1 p.m. Gotta walk home and go to work. And I'd do that, and it was great. It was such a lovely little time of my life. So I didn't read that book there though. Thank God. I don't think I would have held up. But there's already like, I know I read Ned's death in that cafe, and that was a bummer. Horrible.
fine.
My one of my cousins was staying with me, and she didn't watch Game of Thrones, and it was on. I was just like, it's kind of like what happened to you, Nikki. It was on.
Yeah.
She was like cooking, and she kept coming in and out for like she saw like pieces of a couple of episodes in season 3, so she kind of got herself somewhat familiar with Robb Stark, like enough to know that he was like the main character. And then I continued watching, and she came in when when everything started happening with the wedding, and she saw him get stabbed in the heart, and she goes, bitch, what show is this?
Yeah, that's so similar to AK's comment, right?
Oh, that's great.
It's like almost the same story.
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. My
I
cousin
got to
went
show
back.
my parents.
Yeah, my cousin went back and started from season 1, and
That's
like
awesome.
became obsessed with it too.
Yeah.
I will say, because this was during the time when I was like not liking Catelyn Stark, I was like, thank God that's done. Just kept going.
But wait. Oh
Well,
shit!
I
Did
was
Prolong
like, that's pretty cool. I guess that she's back. I was like, kind of annoying, but okay, cool. That's new. That's a new thing.
I remember being heartbroken by her saying like, "Not my hair. Ned loves my hair."
Yeah.
And it's like, baby girl, it's not your hair they're gonna cut. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like at that point, she was so lost in madness. I kind of wish we had seen that in the show, like her fully lose her
Yes.
shit, scrape her
Yeah,
face,
it's
and,
great.
like,
Yes.
Yeah.
That
you know,
part.
even though we
Oh,
didn't get Lady
Mhm.
Stoneheart, which I was so surprised we didn't get it, but then I
Still
realized that
mad.
those guys hate
She's
fantasy.
coming next
so.
season.
They
yeah,
hate
she's
women.
still coming at any time.
Yeah, season 9 next year.
Yeah,
Season
season
nine,
9.
yeah.
After
Yeah.
the writers' strike, they're
Yeah.
working
That's
right
when,
there.
well, that's when I realized that that D&D don't like fantasy.
Yeah,
They don't. They
They don't
don't.
like fantasy.
They don't
But
like
yeah,
Somebody had, I think Peter Griffin made a comment super early about the fact that they're doing body
Three body
problem.
three body
yeah,
problem.
three body
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
Oh, by was it Sichin Liu, something like
Yeah,
that?
Lucian, yeah.
Lucy,
Or
okay.
I guess technically we would say Sishin Blue in the
But
West.
it's Lucian, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they might do fine. I mean,
I think
I
if
think-
they follow what's in the story, I think they're actually like really good project managers and
yes,
Mhm.
like coordinators of people filming it in many different places, you know, like in that aspect of production. But I'm
But
also
they don't like
afraid
fantasy, so it's like don't
It's a
write
s-
then.
it's technically sci-fi. There's aspects of it that people would argue are kind of fantastical and fantasy. I'm just worried they're gonna miss the themes. There's a lot of themes in that book that I'm like, are you gonna actually understand the politics of this? Because you think themes are for 8th grade book reports, even though this is a very political story. But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I just hope they listen to David Benioff's wife, Amanda Peet, which I like to refer to David Benioff as Amanda Peet's husband. Amanda Peet's husband would do really well to listen to Amanda Peet. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully, they just use their ears more. We are listening. We are listening.
Yeah.
You know, I broke it down to like terms a 3-year-old could understand, so maybe they could too. But yeah, to be fair, capitalism, you know, like that's the other part of everything. So I get it. And I get, like, honestly, if at this point they knew they didn't want to bring along Talisa, I mean, if they wanted Jane Westerling to be in the show, she would have been, right? Like, that's an
Right.
extra plot. They didn't know how long they were going to have. Yes, they started making cash cow, but season 3, season 4 is when they knew that. And there is, I'm not D&D apologizing. I'd rather die, first of all. Okay. But I am saying, like, there are certain aspects of like capitalism and how TV production works and what you can do and what you can't do and the constraints of money and the hard decisions you have to make. And so, like, at a certain point, they probably knew they had to make certain cuts. And at a certain point, you can't keep actors hostage for 11 years to 15 years to 20 years to keep doing this. Like, they have contracts. They have
It's not a soap opera, for God's sake.
Exactly. And at a certain point, you run out of the original material and you have bullet points, and you can do that, you know, without ruining the sanctity of the book. Like, I know the book we're going to get will be better than season 7.
Oh, sure.
Because I could wipe my ass with season 7. It'll be better than season 6. It'll the last book, if we get it, it will be better than season 8, obviously. So I'm not worried about that. But, you know, like, at the end of the day, they did what they could. Maybe they weren't the best.
I don't think they did. I think they could have done more. But I am thankful for them for, you know, making this show so that George could adapt it into a book series, you know?
Yeah, amen. Hallelujah.
I wish that by the time they got to season 5 that they brought on more writers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
They
We've
just like
seen-
didn't want to do it. They should just pass it on.
Yeah.
Well, but you know, we've seen how that's really benefited Hot D, for example, right? Hot
Yeah.
D, like, having multiple writers is good, actually, is what we've learned. And I hope that's what they do in their next ventures, is have a bigger, better, beautifuler writing room. But they aren't writing shit right now, so they better not be.
Yeah, shout out to all the writers.
Yeah, they stopped also having women writers
Yeah.
after season 4, I think. So
Oh no, I couldn't tell.
Even
They were
season
like,
4.
They're like, let's ramp up the rape, guys. The
Yeah.
girls are gone.
And you know what? Season 4 was the foreshadowing for that, though. If you rewatch it, there's
season
some
2.
horrible. Season 1, I would argue, is the foreshadowing.
Fair. No, I'm not saying no. But I stand by season 2. It was glaring.
No, season 2, yeah. But season 4 is so glaring on rewatch. When I watched it, I'm like, oh man. Like season 3 is maybe some of the last gold. And you know what? For me, when I was caught up with the books, I remember season 4 was the first time I was watching it like live with a bunch of other book reader friends. And we would like get food every Sunday. We would do like a big thing of wings and like get booze, and we'd all make a sangria. I know I love food. I'm thinking about it right now too.
Me
Me
too.
too. My food is sitting right next to me. Just begging me to eat it.
But yeah, we like got together and we were like all feeling real smug. We're like, oh, we know what's gonna happen this season. Like we're not gonna be caught off guard this time. They're not gonna get us this time. And then like all this stuff started changing, and then season 5 happened, and we were like, wow, we're really stupid big dummies. Why'd we read all them books for? I mean, I loved them, so I didn't care.
Yeah,
But the rest of them were
they're
like,
so amazing, so delicious reads.
Yeah, that was it was an era, right? Like actually watching this show when it was coming out was such an era. The Twitter like presence was insane. I made so many friends in 2014 from the hashtag Game of Thrones tag that like we would just like people you bond with that now years later you're like, how do I know this person? Oh, we used to tweet in 2014 during Game of Thrones on Sunday nights at this time. I mean, that's a lot of time. That's more time sometimes than I spend like talking to my family or like, you know, doing stuff. A couple hours a week.
Actually.
Like, you know, if you're doing a few tweets before during the middle of the day, you're getting ready, you're prepping to have your snacks and your little drinkies or your wines or whatever you're having, you're live tweeting, you're watching the show, you're sitting there afterwards going, bro, you're reading everyone's stuff, you're reading articles, you're like, wow, I'm so excited, I love Game of Thrones. And yeah, that's like a whole day gone by for Game of Thrones, you know? That's a lot of time. That's a bond.
I used to tweet about it while it was live, but for some strange reason, there was a lot of abuse towards Black women tweeting about the show. And so I stopped.
Yeah,
I stopped and, you know, kind of found a group of people to tweet with and left it at that. But yeah, it was like you know, it was like a community. It was a community.
By season 8, it wasn't. It was a war. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was nuts on there. I didn't like that, but the season 4, season 3 too, before all the foreshadowing, as Eliana said, man, the beginning
Nikki and
had
I didn't start podcasting about it until season 6.
That's right.
And because at that point, I remember, and I always say these are the words that changed our friendship forever. Because Nikki and I kind of knew each other. We knew each other in passing because we kind of ran in the same crowd. So like we knew each other by name. We'd see each other out at like basically at jazz shows and stuff, and we'd be like, "Oh, hey Nikki, hey Tanya," and you know we'd talk and stuff, but we weren't really like friends. And I found out after we joined, we became Facebook friends, and I found out she liked Game of Thrones. And I said to her, "Have you read the books?"
Oh.
And that changed. That
there
changed
are books?
the entire trajectory of our relationship.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like completely. Like we just became like insta besties because she started
we used
reading
to meet.
it.
We used to meet for in the park.
Yep,
to
at Bryant Park.
Because I hadn't read the books yet,
beautiful.
and Tanya started a book. Like I was like, oh, other people said they wanted to read the books too. So like it got to the point that like Tanya was like me, were like, you know, a bunch of people in the chat, but like I'd read 4 chapters and nobody had read the first one, and then I was halfway through the first book, and I was like, oh, and
people were like, oh, I'm only on chapter 4, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. We're gonna continue.
So we used to meet in the park to like do that, and
that's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
And she'd bring me cake.
Cake.
Oh,
Where was
God,
the cake?
wait.
Yeah,
I feel like cake is a running
cake.
theme.
Yeah,
gave me cake.
Really?
That's beautiful. That's so
It is,
beautiful.
right?
Yeah.
She brought me cake on my
friendship is
lunch break, and we
priceless.
sat in Bryant Park and talked
Ah.
about the books.
Mhm.
And then I was like, oh my god, what if we had a podcast? And then I was like,
I'm sorry,
have
I'm
to
laughing
learn
right now
audio
because
today.
of Chloe saying that cake is or Eliana said cake is a running theme, but I did acquire cake for your birthday. This is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
Just
yeah.
acquire loosely.
Yeah.
We're never
felt-
gonna forget that.
It
I've
was
never
delicious.
felt
That was a
more a
good
part
night.
of something. Thank you. That's so beautiful. And now I know
That was a
your
good
cake
night.
story. That's just, it is beautiful though. Like it is like there are so many bonds that people make. Like you find the people that you like to talk to
Yeah.
about the books together, and you do that. And it's a
Mhm.
great relationship. It's so nice.
I think the hard part for me was I found people who liked the books, but like I became a little bit obsessed. if you
Yeah.
can't tell.
Wait,
Yeah.
you became a little. I've never
Can you
heard of that
believe it?
happening to someone. I've never heard of
About
it.
this
It's so unlike
series? No.
Yeah, and it's just like other than Nikki, like they just were not. I have completely abandoned my Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire book club. I just abandoned
Yeah.
them because I
It
was like,
still
you guys,
exists on
Right.
Facebook. We should like write
yeah, it does
messages
still
in
exist
there.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
So did
I
mine.
was like, yeah.
The one, but in theory, I think we'll reignite interest if wins gets announced.
Yeah.
But also, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Not
it was-
everybody
it
is
was,
crazy
it
enough
was
to keep reading these.
German chocolate cake, but not really.
Are we talking about Chloe's birthday or the
Yeah.
one that you brought Tanya?
No, well, no, and actually that was chocolate too. It is a theme.
Wow.
If you get offered cake by these young ladies,
By Nikki. It's,
for
that's
Chloe,
like a
we had
pact.
stolen cake.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
people they do blood pacts.
I
Nikki
didn't
does
say that.
Yeah.
I will neither
Borrowed.
confirm or deny
Yeah.
that statement.
About that it was stolen cake.
the cake was
I know
borrowed,
nothing
and
about
It was
that.
there was a
borrowed cake.
policy. It wasn't going to get eaten anyway. It was going to waste.
They were totally ignoring it, so we helped them out. by
neglected.
eating some.
It was
There were
neglected.
starving Chloes everywhere that could have had that cake,
Yeah.
and you're just willing to throw it away. And I think that's
Yeah.
wrong, And in the Red Wedding, they have their cake and eat it too. The Freys do,
They,
right?
do they have cake? I was
No,
just thinking
I
that.
don't
I was
think
like,
they
they don't.
do.
I
No.
don't think they do
They
wedding
have
cakes
pie.
in
They had
Westeros.
prom
No, those are the
Weddings.
pigeon pie. Which
Yeah,
they
no.
didn't
That's
have
what
at
I
the
can
red
think
wedding,
of.
but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have friends who
Walter
did
Frey
pie for
served them
wedding.
compost is what happened.
Yeah.
I had,
Yeah.
I had cake and cupcakes for my wedding.
Oh, I had
Nice.
cupcakes too. I had a cake and cupcakes, and I love the cake. Oh, I love cake. Oh shit.
I love cake too.
Oh no.
Me too.
I have the
Have cake.
passage with the food. I'm gonna find the passage with the food.
It's like
for
it
you
towards
all.
the beginning.
Oh
It's
yes,
like-
please.
I
Please
have
read
it right
that.
here. No, it's
Okay.
so good. It's I have
Yes.
it.
Excuse me for like 1 second. I'm gonna mute.
Oh, you're good. Because I'm gonna read this gorgeous platter of food.
I'm going to refer to my
So-
book, which I have right here.
Oh, nice.
The food is not
Oh,
great. It's not great. I'm not even reading the passage. I'm sorry. I just have the food. I have it all though. I have the food.
Catelyn says the food is not great. It's not great.
Yeah, Catelyn leaves the Yelp review. Not great. And starts with a thin leek soup, which I like a leek soup. Maybe it's, a refresher. A salad of green beans. Okay, not really a salad.
And
it's
beets.
just
It
green
has
beans.
beets.
Oh,
also
and
in-
beets. Sorry. Wait,
yeah.
no, there's a comma, and I don't know how to read commas is the problem. I
Mhm.
did write this. It was just, 3 years ago, 2 years ago?
I think it's a salad of green beans, comma, onions,
Yeah,
and beets that were
onions,
all in the
beets.
salad.
Yes.
Followed
And
by
river pike poached in almond milk.
Which does sound good.
Mounds of cold mashed turnips, maybe not cold.
Could be okay.
I think I would eat that.
Yeah.
Jellied calf brains
I don't know about that.
Pass.
Mad cow disease is real.
and stringy beef.
Probably in Westeros too.
Yeah.
Does that mean like it was like beef jerky ish? Like
No, I think it's more like stringy, grizzly, like skirt steaky, but like maybe like bad skirt steak, like lesser skirt steak.
I remember we
Lesser.
looked it up, and I don't feel like
Lesser.
looking it up again. The
Leche.
leche. 'Cause I was
the
like,
leche,
I was like leche, like milk,
no.
but not.
yeah,
Ugh.
it's a kind of
Wait,
gross.
now I have to know. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Good.
I'm sorry that I didn't do this for you. I
Did you
did
talk
it
about
once,
the
and I forgot
pike?
about it.
It
It sounds good, right? The
poached
pike.
in almond
Yeah. Yeah.
That does sound fine. It sounds fine. The almond
think
milk
it's
may be
good.
soggy. It does make me think of like Charlie Kelly and Always Sunny wanting a milk steak.
Milk steak,
But-
yes.
Minus milk steak.
Have you
The
guys watched
closest
the
thing I could
show?
say is it's a comparison of head cheese, which
Yeah.
Google that on your own.
Yeah. Have you watched?
Not
I
schmegma.
think you should. Oh, smeg. I talk about that. I don't know why every now and
About
then,
what?
but
Schmegma.
Smegma.
Head cheese.
Well,
Yeah.
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 have you watched the show? I think you should leave.
I haven't
haven't
watched
not.
it yet. That's on my list.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I need to watch it this summer. I have a list.
think I've
of
seen
things
the
I need to
first
watch this
episode.
summer.
It's funny. If you like, I guess cringy humor, but I do.
Mm,
Friend Sasuke has.
Yeah, just she.
I love it. Yeah, no, the food was trash.
The thin. I missed the part where you were saying, but I know it was thin leek soup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
stringy
was
beef.
trash.
It sounds fine right now.
Interesting, and this
Wait,
is
like-
why. Oh,
Mhm.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say in Danny's, vision, that might be or probably is, I guess, the Red Wedding, but it could be a different Vengeance Wedding, right? Like, in the House of the Undying, she sees a king with a wolf's head eating like, I don't know, I guess a not choice or leg of lamb in it or something, and I'm
It was
like,
like
but that's
boiled or something, right?
yeah, but at least a leg of lamb sounds like
Oh, but you
better
never
did
than
have
what we
lamb.
got.
But
Kat
Yeah.
said that was like the one good thing. Was
Yeah,
that-
the lamb.
But
That's
then
right.
he did say the thing is like if he serves me something with like maggots on it, he was like, I'll
Stewed
eat it and ask for a
crow.
second
Stewed
helping.
crow.
Right?
Yeah.
Crow
Yeah.
smothered in
We just
maggots.
talked about this. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that
Yes.
John? Stewed crow with maggots now?
No,
maybe.
Rob says it to
No,
Kat,
but yeah.
No, I'm saying is that John now that he's dead?
Oh, the stewed
Wait.
crow. Ooh.
Can I just point out how Eliana, you're bleeding from the neck?
Oh yeah.
I
That's
love
why
how I love how
I'm
the
so sorry.
droplets are coming over the collar
Yeah,
of
yeah.
your shirt, and it just is
Yeah.
working perfectly.
Thank you. I did it for tonight.
Oh my god, it
Bravo.
is the white shirt and the
Yeah.
a contrast queen.
Mhm.
Yeah, the juicy pink lamb, the final good thing, but it's like brought out because it's like the lamb for slaughter, which is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Rob Stark who
True.
died for our sins too.
He did, just like Ned.
Just like
died.
Ned. Well, Ned's not
Or
dead.
is
He's in a
he?
pigeon somewhere. We've been over this.
Wait, he's in a what somewhere?
He's in a pigeon somewhere,
He is. He is. He warged into the sword and then into a pigeon.
Changed.
And
I
that
like this
pigeon was
theory.
now in a pie.
We're not being. Yeah. Oh, he could be in the pie. Wow.
He was in the pie at Joffrey's wedding.
And then he was in Hot Pie, and now he's then he came friends with Arya. Wow, amazing. Beautiful.
Everything Euron Greyjoy's ever said and Blood Raven's ever said is now making sense. Thank you, Eliana. Your analysis is on point.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Tanya and I were talking the other day, and we've never done a Blood Raven specific episode. So
What?
Yeah.
Right?
I know,
It doesn't
it's
make
crazy.
any sense, right?
it's crazy.
We kind of got to coin that. We had the Blood Raven Thousand Eyes in One episode, TBH.
Yeah.
That
we
was,
did.
yeah, we are kind of lucky, not to brag.
No, we were lucky.
Yeah, I don't know why we haven't. There's like no particular reason.
It's time. It's
We
time.
will. Yeah, we'll do it.
It's
We'll do
time.
it.
Something about this episode when I was watching, since it's not just the Red Wedding, right? Reigns of Castamere has other things
Mhm.
happening. Like Bran does
Mhm.
his skin change of Hodor for the first time. Boo. But it is what it is. It happened. But boo.
Consent is important.
Boo.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've all talked about this. Consent is important. Very well said.
Mhm.
But then also there's something interesting in that Dany wins right through trickery with Dario in the middle of the night when everyone's drinking, rushing in
Mhm.
and taking them, etc. And
Yeah.
so Dany has this great victorious moment, which really, I will say, yes, we talked about how this could be a great like POV only cattle and bottle episode if there were better people producing and directing it, and it could have done that, but with that kind of like tone change, you have it, so you're led to it. You're the lamb, right? Like you're led to it. You're like, oh yeah, Dany kicked ass in the night. Dario's got a nice ass too. Lots of ass kicking and ass touching is gonna happen. They're great.
Right.
You're like pumped, and then you get to the wedding, and then everything goes horrible. Like when Catelyn lifts up Roos's sleeve and sees the chainmail, shivers,
Yeah.
slap,
Oh,
and it's so good. And it's like that build up, and then that the Starks fail, after being dishonorable but kind of honorable and fulfilling it in a way, whatever, yada yada. Then undone in that moment though, that like they fail and that they are undone by trickery in the night as well at a wedding, at something that shouldn't be a war, while these guys are celebrating they're killed. So it's like interesting because it's like this great victory and then this great fail for totally different reasons, and it's horrible. It's sad.
But you know what? I think you just hit the nail on the head with something, is that trickery really is the theme of this episode, right? You have Bran tricking, you're working into Hodor. You have Jon betraying the wildlings. You have, the Walder Frey betraying the Starks. And you have Dany, using trickery to infiltrate.
Well, that's when Daario Naharis drops off his co-captains' heads.
Right?
Yep.
And then you have Daario Naharis calling out Jorah for being a fucking fake.
Oh, and Barristan too. Yeah.
Just so you know, I am a Jorah Mormont hate account.
Oh,
Hallelujah,
yes,
sister.
absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
Twitter
Absolutely.
bans me.
Hate him.
Twitter bans me because
For
I said
hating
that-
Jorah Mormont?
because I said that he should have hanged with the other slave masters.
Yeah, I agreed.
Twitter blocked my account and wouldn't give it back until I deleted it. So I had to delete it, and I reworded it because
That's
the sentiment
bullshit.
stands. Yeah, they said I was like
Fuck.
inciting violence.
Oh my god, elongated mollusk, you will pay for your crimes. Holy crap.
I was like,
Oh,
"Yes."
man.
Full name. Yeah, that's it's true though, he should have. And
No,
you're
he
not
should've.
wrong. You should say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. The show really obviously changes your view because Ian Glenn is so wonderfully just like, he's got that roguish kind of drawl, and I don't know, I like Ian Glenn, but like that's not Book Jorah.
It's not Jorah. No. Book
No.
Jorah is
I
not the
mean,
same.
even so, like even Show Jorah still is like a slaver, so I'm still like,
Yeah.
Show Jorah.
Right, and he's not sorry about it.
Yeah.
No, he's not, and he like cannot
No,
take.
he never apologizes for it.
Yeah, he never apologized for anything. He cannot take responsibility for anything.
No.
He's just like, I'm not accountable, and I'm like, fuck you, Jorah.
You know who's
you
just
loser.
like that? Jamie Lannister. Anyways, so
He's like, wow, I
So
did a
for
bad
the
thing.
second hour,
Except for about killing Bran, or not killing Bran, throwing Bran off. But anyways,
it's so
Yeah.
funny you say it. It's just because like he's just hot, so he gets away with it.
basically.
and Brienne likes him, and I think if Brienne, but
Yeah,
Brienne's
that's
got
Don't
I don't
even
know.
get me started.
She
on
does not
Brienne
have
and
enough
her.
experience to make a judgment call.
she's her taste is fuckboys, but it's fine.
Like, don't get me started on Brienne and her house coat outside crying over
Oh
her
my
man because
God,
I will
that's
fly into a rage.
Oh, that's right.
I will fly into
Oh my
a
God.
rage.
For
Uh,
Jamie Lannister? Jamie Lannister?
The guy who's only fucked his sister.
Did
Yeah.
Dario bring like those captains' heads because he was like that? Was that his weird way of saying like I give head, or like I don't know?
No, it's like
Literally.
it's kind of like that, but also it's like a cat, right? You know how
Doesn't
cats
understand subtlety at all.
cats like,
Like
bring
cat-
you
like
things. It's like a cat.
Catelyn Stark.
Catelyn. Oh, there's the connection.
Mm.
No, but it is. It's like when a cat wants you to be like cats
Yes.
think we're stupid. They think we're bad hunters, so they bring you things. And so, like,
Yeah.
when a cat goes outside and gets a bird and brings it to you, it's like, here, you're stupid. You don't know how to hunt. So maybe it was that, and maybe she likes.
Look, I'm a provider.
yeah, exactly. Like, here, are you proud of me? I've brought you a treat. But also, like, just the amount that a cat doesn't give a crap about what they've brought you. They're like, yeah, it's fine. I spent a couple
Yeah.
minutes on it, but here you are.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of like Rico Suave shit that Dario
It's
Naharis
like they're
comes
like
in
don't
with,
even
right?
just look at it, but don't even think because there was zero
It was
effort
nothing.
involved.
Yeah, and I don't like you, but if I did,
I don't like
Maybe
it.
every
I
now
want
and
you to at least stay alive.
use all these heads, please promote me. Oh, you got a promotion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There's something great there with that little Dany and first Dario. I do miss those scenes. I like the little scene
Yeah.
later when second Dario gives her the blue roses. I'm like, ah!
Yeah, but second Dario is so boy next door for me. That's why I can't with him. Like I like him too, but he doesn't thrill me the same way.
No.
Agreed.
I
It just
remember
doesn't
this when
seem
he
right.
showed his butt. All these people on Twitter were like, "What the fuck?" And I felt so bad for him as a person.
Yeah.
Because this is a real person's butt, you know.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh."
And that's so interesting because
It was
that is how
fine.
it got shaped, right? Like it's a good butt. It's a good butt on a person. It's
butt.
just you're on TV,
Yeah.
and you're not first Dario, and
It just wasn't Jon Snow's butt because that's what they were really waiting for, which I thought was
Yeah.
like,
Need a little bit of squats.
They
It
do
was
make
fine.
a difference. Yeah.
little tree trunk.
Oh wait,
flag.
can Iontron? Can you highlight that? Because Tanya and I talk about this a lot. They could have done this.
Navy blue. They could have gone even
They
just
could
a
have done
little
this.
realistic and done like a navy blue wash on his hair and let him
Yeah,
have like a blue
Sasuke with the
stubble.
Or like
correction.
the like an ombre, like the
Yeah.
bottom is tinted blue.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
could have just had it very subtle. It doesn't have, it's silly, but I think of like the the Nolan verse, right? Like how Christopher Nolan took very silly comic kind of characters, but wanted to tone them down for a grittier universe. And like that's very D&D. I was like, why can't you give it a little bit of color? Not even a lot, like a punch of navy instead of blue. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because
Something.
how will we know it's a serious show if we don't make it very dark and remove all the color from all the costumes? How will we
Yeah.
know that we're supposed to take this seriously?
That's true. That's very true. Ask Brian Condal.
Boo.
I'm like, he'll tell you that you could at least put like some color in it, like a couple curtains. Something. I mean, dress it up a little. My God, have some respect. I know you're poor. I know you guys are still poor until the Red Wedding airs, but after that,
That's actually true. That was
no
true.
excuse. No excuse after the Red Wedding. You had investors calling HBO. There's no excuse. You should have put a nice big event on. Should have done the veil tourney. Should have done the veil tourney. Cowards. Fucking
The best
cowards.
contrast is in season 1, the tourney of the hand versus
Yes.
season 1 of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Season 1, it's in somebody's backyard.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
just in this regular suburban backyard, and then
House of the Dragon tourney is just, it was everything that I ever wanted to see from a joust.
I love magic.
Yeah,
I love
that's true.
magic. And that's how I felt.
Even like in the graphic novel for the Hedge Knight
Yeah.
tourney was better.
Coachella, yeah.
And I am taken by like how quaint.
you said Coachella.
Yeah, that's how we
That's what it
describe
is,
it. It sounds like Coachella. They're like, they got all these colorful tents and shit.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Everyone's wearing flower crowns and shit. Like, where do I get mine? Is it at a booth over there? Get your face painted. They're having a blast.
Literally how it's described.
Choose some sour leaf. Have a good time. Yeah, even like this though, it's so quaint, right? Like it's so, and like the wedding was supposed to be, but like I don't know, like the twins could have been like someone's like down the street hall that you could rent to do a thing in. Like it's very interesting. I don't know. They could have done something. Like the whole wedding itself wasn't grand, but yet this was even smaller than what you imagined for it in some ways. And I'm like, I missed that part of like, I wish Game of Thrones had built things a little bigger there. Like Harrenhal was was a good attempt at it. I actually really liked Harrenhal. I think it was impressive, especially for its time. Like it was actually very impressive just to see what they did with VFX. So you really can't knock that. But I was just, I don't know. There was no regality in general.
No, and I would have loved to see what was going on in the other tower and then on the grounds for the celebrations. Like I just needed like one scene, like from somebody to like walk through. That's it. Just one person to walk.
Right, they
through
call
from
the
the
other
outside
feast
to
the Bastards Feast.
The
because
Bastards
that's where,
Feast. That's where all the
Yeah.
fun was
all of his
happening.
bastards.
Yeah, that would have been
That would have made a bottle
It
episode.
could have been a whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah. Because there's just so much back and forth. All the filler, you have to make a little filler here and there for world building and lore. And like, think of how you could do back and forth, really connect with the small folk. There's some opportunities. I'm reading the Grishaverse for the first time. And it's kind of fun.
I finished reading that just a few months ago.
Oh my God. Well, I'll be messaging you. We'll talk later, but I won't get derailed here. But like, I'm reading that and I feel like there's such a great sense of world building and like class building that goes on in some of the different stories that happen that I'm like, okay, like you sense a whole bigger thing. And there's these moments where the show has had some opportunities where you can like spin it and make it a POV because the first 2 books they're one person POV. We don't have multiples, but the secondary series has some POVs, which rocks. She does a great job with that. But you have some opportunities to really like make some new POVs, make the small folk or make the lower soldiers show you what they're dealing with and build that suspense and build that moment of not knowing, and everything down there is bustling. Choose a character down there, choose a lower general to follow. That would be great. That would be fun. I like that.
I would have
Yeah.
also loved to have had Daisy Marmont.
Yes,
even
I
if
was
she-
just gonna say.
Even if
Yes.
she was unnamed.
Bullshit. It's bullshit.
Even if she
Yeah.
was unnamed, just show the one woman warrior guarding Rob. Like, even if you
Mhm.
didn't tell me who she was and I don't know, just put her in the Marmont sigil and don't even tell me
Yup.
her name, and I would have accepted that.
And that moment where she's like, where she comes back and she asks him to dance, and he's like, no.
And like pushes
Like,
her off.
What
The
a
tone.
what a tone change. Exactly.
Mhm.
What a tone
And
change.
then the guy, I forgot which fairy it was, who shuts the doors and then shoves Catelyn out of his way, and Rob sees it
Mhm.
Yeah.
and was like ready to go say something, and then all of a sudden all this other shit starts happening. Like there's
Yeah.
so much. There's so
Yeah.
much, but
Yeah.
tiny
the
little
book,
details
it's
that meant so
Stacey.
much.
Yeah, in the books it's Daisy because Catelyn's like,
Mhm.
I thought it was so interesting that she was like, just seeing Daisy get rejected so I think harshly. She was like,
Mhm.
that was
Yeah.
weird. She just has such strong intuition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just like, why was he so rude to her about just a dance? And then that's what makes her go up to him, and he's the one who's chainmail she feels and not Roos's, and
Right,
and
right.
slaps. And it's just like, and then that guy pushes her, and I'm like, how can you push Catelyn Stark? I know we don't
She's
love her
Lady Stark.
POVs at that time in
Yeah.
our
She's the
lives.
queen
but how you
mother.
can push her? Yeah, I agree.
The disrespect. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
disrespect, but also
Yeah,
I
there's
think
I was just gonna say there's just a lot of like very small things that when you add them up, it like
Mhm.
you realize it builds the tension
Yeah.
and it fills you with dread. I just remember being so filled with dread.
yeah.
The drumming and the boom, ba boom,
Mhm.
ba boom going, the clanging noise
Yeah.
that wouldn't stop, right? The little
And then
bells, jingle
they
bell.
play Reigns of Castamere and only she recognizes it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only she would.
Although
of
they
course.
did do that in the show. She was
Yeah.
the only one
Yeah.
who recognized it in the show as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she knew the second she peeled that sleeve back, so she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, why would you wear that here?" And you know what? There's actually
was-
like, there's something really cool. There's Odysseus, right? I mean, there's so many like the Black Dinner and like all the different little influences that this could be from. But George wrote it after.
Sorry.
But there's like
I read the comment.
there's so many different ones, but there's like also there's Odysseus, right? When he comes home and people are trying to marry Penelope, and he like is real chill, he's on the low key, he's like, okay, make sure everyone's swords are away. And in the books, like there's this moment where Catelyn thinks about how all the swords are up on the walls and how
Mhm.
this is such a, like it's supposed to be a wedding. You shouldn't have to have your sword strapped to you. Why would you? While they're all eating. And Odysseus makes sure everybody's swords are to the wall, and then he kills every man that's trying to date Penelope, trying to get up on Penelope. And he's like, no, we'll be happy forever. Ha.
Just ignore. Just
Yeah.
ignore that little, the little
The
black
trauma, IDK it. IDK the trauma, Penelope. You're fine.
I love you, girl. You know that, right?
Yeah. That's why I left you
Look
for
how
so
much I
long.
love you.
So
Look
long.
how much I love you.
And then I came back and I was like, nah, no man can have you. Sorry about those many, many years and all of the sex I had with not you.
Mm.
Yeah,
Now
so
I
that
feel-
part's not really
Now I
this,
feel
but-
cheated. My husband didn't murder anybody.
Aw. How do we
Time to
know he
talk to
loves
him.
you?
It's not too late.
He did give you
I'm gonna
sword
talk
earrings.
to him about that.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, he
Get-
did
get-
give me sword earrings. They're really cool. I wore them for my presentation.
Aw.
Okay, that's kind of
The
up
library.
there.
Pretty cool though.
I saw
yeah.
those.
Yeah.
I saw those. Those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, we might let him this time. Next time though,
But next year, I expect there to be a murder.
or else.
At least.
The clock is
At
ticking.
least, yeah.
I've got a list of candidates. Don't worry, I got you.
Oh, she got a little Arya Stark list popping.
Oh, cute.
Got a list.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
right.
have
We have Arya. We have Arya and Sandor this episode too, don't
Yeah,
we?
that. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
too.
We finally think Arya's gonna make it to her family, and they
I feel like that's
Dash
the
our
most
dreams.
devastating part of this episode for me because you're
Yeah.
so close. Like you guys you don't have to like him. That's fine. Like
Yeah.
you know he's only in it for the money. That's cool too. But to get so close, and then in the show she sees him kill Greywind, and like,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like if she had gotten there a little bit before, she would have died too.
absolutely.
Yeah. Or been a hostage forced to wed, and used as a
Another
pawn in
threat.
Winterfell, same as like I don't know, Jane
Yeah.
Poole or something.
yeah.
Like it's even better like season 4 when she goes to the Vale, right? And they turn him away, which is a very funny scene. I actually like
Yeah.
that little addition. I think that's kind of fun. That entire thing. I've grown on the Brienne Sandor fight over time, but I hated it when it first came out. I was so mad because
Same,
again,
same,
season
same.
4, I was like, that's not how the books go. So I was
So
very mad.
that veil, it's like we're almost at time, but that scene at the veil when they arrive, I went to
Yeah.
go visit that spot in Iceland.
Oh,
yes.
The only thing CGI was the castle.
interesting.
Everything
Wow.
was real, and they were carrying real crates of lemons. A guy who played one of the wildlings, he led the tour.
yes. That guy. He's been so
Yeah.
many different background characters, and he got
Yeah,
to
he
star.
led the
Yeah.
tour. It's
He's
this
a
Icelandic
big
guy.
deal,
He's just
yeah.
like
That's
a
so
background
cool.
character. And so he led the tour dressed as a wildling, and he brought us there. And yeah, the only thing CGI was that castle in the background, but they made them
Wow.
carry real crates of lemons to keep it realistic.
That's awesome.
So cute.
Yeah,
So awesome.
and like the way the like valley is and everything is completely real. It's just completely real, like layers of like volcanic like sediment and things like that. It's all real. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And what's funny is I went there with my cousin, and we came across like this other Black lady, and we saw her. We just got excited because there's like no Black people there. So we saw her, and we were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey!" And then she started talking to us, and our tour guide thought that we knew her, and I was like, "Nope."
Nope.
We don't all
Because
know
of
each other.
course.
Yeah,
How it works.
don't know her. She was just
Yeah.
another Black person we saw. And we were like, "Another one."
As one
Oh,
does when
funny.
when abroad.
Right.
Yeah.
Cousin.
Oh. Yay. Well, shit. Can we raise what's left of your glasses to the 10th anniversary of the Red Wedding, aka the Red
All I have
Castle?
left in my
Yeah.
glasses.
I just remember watching my friend.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Dang.
There.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
have
still
to
have
think about
the rest of this bottle. I was like, am I supposed to be chugging faster? Like, am I supposed to finish the whole thing?
Keep
No,
up,
no.
Eliana. Keep up.
Wait, am I really supposed to?
I think you have to. I think that's what they just said. I heard them say it. So
How
At this
many
point.
cans have you had, Chloe?
I'm on my third. This is gonna be my. I'm
Out
probably
of how
about halfway
many?
through this.
Out
Okay,
of
well
how
I had
many?
one before, but that doesn't count, right? You can't count the ounces.
If it's not on air, it doesn't count.
Hallelujah, sister. So I've had two. I've had 24 of my ounces. I just had a quarter of this, which is like four ounces. I could have more. I'll just do it right now. I mean, don't be a bitch about it. Just do it, Eliana. Ma'am up. Ma'am the fuck up. Yeah, ma'am up, Eliana. My God.
Wow. We've never had chugging on here before.
Wow.
It's a
Applause
first.
to Eliana.
Is that not what I'm supposed to do? I don't know. I'm like, what is it? Was it the small John? I'm gonna throw a table
Oh,
over
yes.
someone.
It was the great John who threw the table. Even
Oh,
though,
the
you
great
know,
John. Sorry, I knew it was one of the
drunk
Johns.
as he was, as drunk as he was, he still managed to
Yeah.
throw over a table to try to protect
What a
his king.
champ!
Goals.
I'm the Manderly with the arrow through my head or my stomach or wherever it went.
Yeah,
Willis.
it's sad.
Maybe it was Willis. Yeah, I'm the dead one, so that'll be
It's
me
not
in the
funny.
morning for sure.
When I
That's
was
okay.
reading it, I just thought about.
Strawberry rhubarb cider.
Ooh.
Where do I get
Ooh.
that?
Farmers
What brand?
market.
How do I get that?
I am on my way.
That's
That might not
actually
be-
what Sander and Ari were
Ooh.
bringing. It wasn't pickled pig's ears. It was that strawberry rhubarb cider.
I'm gonna throw it out there. This might be
Barrels of it.
attainable for you. We'll follow up for you.
I
The
want
strawberry
some.
rhubarb cider.
I'm interested. It could be obtainable for any of us three, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Any of us. We could obtain it.
I'm trying to not dox everyone. So
No
Man.
doxing. All right,
Yeah.
ladies, closing,
doxing allowed.
closing remarks.
Closing
remarks.
room. Go ahead.
Let's start with you ladies are the guests. So
Yeah.
one of you.
Well, does that actually mean something these days?
Trader
Because
Joe's.
we did,
What?
we did
Oh,
just
that's true.
watch the
Are you
show
gonna
where
kill
Guest
us? Are we
Right.
gonna die?
Are you killing us? They didn't offer us salt and bread. Did they offer us
That's
salt and
true.
bread? They didn't
they
offer us
offered-
salt and bread.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
are gonna give us salt and bread, right? Right?
Yeah,
What
I'm
if
gonna
it's
serve it to you
BYOB?
in this beautiful mug that my son made.
Oh, you could use that.
Aw.
You could use that. I've learned this term recently as a demi-tasse for your espresso.
Oh my
I
gosh.
feel like it might leak. Well, actually,
Yeah.
no, it's pretty
That's
sealed.
Try it out sometime. Find out. I mean,
Has his name on the bottom. So
he'd probably be real hyped if you used it, I think.
he would. I think he would.
Oh,
I must bow
playing us out.
low.
Oh, she's gonna kill us.
Just
Yeah.
when I pull out my knife.
Yeah, she's like, even if my husband won't murder someone for me,
I
I
will for
can
me.
I'll
murder.
murder someone for
There's
me.
two of us, two heads. Look at that.
I'm my own POV, is what she's really
Yeah.
saying. No, it was sad to watch. It wasn't like not sad. I didn't mean that when I said that I didn't feel anything, but it was interesting because like we covered
was
Catalan, and maybe this is part of it, right? So the way that we cover episodes on Girls Gone Canon is we cover it like POV by POV. So we do a whole entire POV, one chapter at a time. So we covered Catalan from Cat 1 in A Game of Thrones to Cat 7 in A Storm of Swords. And it was very sad, and it was a beautiful read to read it that way, to see her as like a girl that maybe once was young and full of hope and did her duty to her house and married like the Lord guy, and like she was supposed to marry one, but she's like, okay, his brother's not that bad, I'll deal with it. Did her duty, did the kids, did all that, like didn't really have a choice in it, but made the best of it, and like thought that was the best way for her kids too, like that it was a better way to have life and that things could be good that way, and then died as it all broke down around her, and everything she knew in life, from diplomacy that she learned from her father, except she learned that like her father's big rival like was evil and would just kill her for funsies, out of pride, like all that stuff, and honor and diplomacy wasn't, in the end, it didn't work for her. It didn't save her. It didn't stop her from dying, but she still died the honorable way and loving her children. And, like she died for herself in the end that way, and then came back, and then she rose 3 days later. So then it was. And
Catelyn Stark actually died for our sins.
yeah, I mean, I honestly, for me, I look forward to our zombie overlord, or overlady, I should say. So that's all I have to say about it. Thanks for having me on. Love you.
I just to real quick, it makes me like, what if it had been John?
What do you mean?
I mean, what if Rob had been John, and like, there was a reason that Catelyn was supposed to be there? Would she have been like, John, just get up and run away? Or would she be like, just take him, it's fine?
No,
I
yeah,
hated it anyway.
I absolutely think,
she
she
would.
would like, just take him. She would have been like, just take him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I really
I
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
Either. I mean,
No, I'm not mad about it. I'm like, she has every right.
like it's something she was never given a choice about. She grew resentment about it for so long, and it was awful that she couldn't, say it to her husband because she feared her husband's reaction. Like
I'm
that's
going
a
to
whole
give you
world.
the choice that I never had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what sucks. Is like, I guess sometimes you just need a villain, and she became the villain.
Yeah. Eliana, your thoughts?
On what? On which
The
part?
episode.
Your closing remarks.
Closing remarks on the episode or the chapter.
Should have had Daisy Mormont.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting. I think for me the tone is so different from the show and the books, because for me the book version of the Red Wedding is just so noisy, right? The whole thing is like really loud, and even at the end, even though it's kind of only Catelyn wailing by herself maybe and just like laughing, it's so loud because in her thoughts it's screaming. And it's interesting that the artistic choice that the show took was to go quiet, and I think a lot of people felt that that was the right choice and the powerful choice. I mean, you have to do things differently in a visual medium. So yeah, I just remember 3 of us had all read the books, and we were watching my friend who had not read the books. All 3 of us were watching this one friend, and we're like, how is Tomas gonna respond to the Red Wedding? He's like, what? So they all died? And we're like, yes. Yeah, they should have done Lady Stoneheart. Those are my thoughts.
So true.
Yeah.
So
I
true.
would've
How about
taken
you
it
two?
on
How about
such a
you
different-
two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Lady Stoneheart. I wish they would have leaned into like the fantasy, prophecy, like all that. I really wish they would have leaned into it instead of shying away from it, because that's such a big part of it. Like it's not just this like political thriller. Like there's
Agreed.
magic further than just dragons, and like we got the priest. I mean, no, what's his name?
Thoros?
Thoros bringing what's his face
and
back.
Beric. Thoros and
Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah. No one
We got-
needed them to be there till the end.
Right. So it's like if you can give us Beric Dondarrion coming back from the dead. Why couldn't we get him giving his last life to Catelyn?
Because she's
they're
a
men.
woman.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the misogyny.
Overall, though, I liked the way the book did it more than I liked the show, but I did really enjoy the show, and I was absolutely horrified when they stabbed Talisa directly in the fetus. So they still managed to surprise me, even though I knew it was coming.
Hmm.
I just would have liked for it to. I would have liked to see Catelyn's book reaction. I wanted to see her like
Yeah.
really go mad,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
instead of just standing there silent. But I like the credits being silent. Like I think it would have been cool if they had showed her, screaming, scratching at her face, and then
Yeah.
they cut her throat and it goes silent, and then the credits come in silent. Like I think that would have been really
Yeah.
cool to
Mm.
experience. Um,
And
But
more
overall,
drums.
yes,
More drums.
more drums and more poor music playing. I feel like we really should have noticed how
Yeah.
poorly they were playing the music.
Mhm.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
that
that
was. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like it should have stood out how badly they were playing the music.
Mhm.
They were just
They should have been,
quiet.
yeah, they should have been
Yeah.
hitting wrong notes and kind of jarring us a little bit to make us uncomfortable. That's the thing. Well, or maybe they wanted us to be comfortable so that it would be that much more shocking. But I like the
Yeah.
idea of
That's
being made to be uncomfortable the entire time and not really know why, because we think that Rob's about to go take over Casterly Rock, and he's going to do all these things that he just said in the beginning of the episode, and to have that like tension in there, even if they just played tensions, like instead
Right.
of just wrong notes, like they just keep playing tensions to have you like just feel it and not really know that you're feeling it, but just to have something feel kind of off.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been cool. But overall, the Red Wedding is such a turning point in media. Like
It was.
I don't think we've ever had the hero, because when I first watched it, I thought Ned Stark was the hero, and then he dies in the first season, and so then I said, oh, it's a revenge story, and Robb Stark is the hero, and then Robb dies, and then it's like, what the fuck is this about? It really it turned me upside down. It really turned me upside down. Nikki, what about you?
I will say that I agree with you on the music, because especially in later episodes, like I think of The Light of the Seven, and just how like the entire time that song is playing, it's my favorite song from the series. The entire time that song is playing, that's tension is building up. In House of the Dragon, that happens again too. Like you feel the music is like dragging you along, or it's guiding you. It's not dragging you, guiding you along, and you feel this angst that's happening. That's happening throughout the whole thing. And I think reading the book again and knowing that was like, that the music was so loud in the sheet, because I get migraine. So I know what it's like to have to sit through something when you have a migraine and your head is pounding. But I also agree, Eliana, that like, maybe it was done because you need that contrast at the end, to like for the silence to hit, because I love when they end an episode in silence too. I do like when they show something really traumatic and then it's over. It's just like that.
Yeah.
I think that this episode is it's devastating, and I think that Chloe does have a point with like skullduggery, or the trickery that happens like as a theme through the episode, and I like that kind of is a thread that ties it together. But I wish they had brought more elements of the books, because at Joffrey's wedding you get to like they don't do the feast in the book, but you get to see the feast. And I would have liked to just see how Walder Frey was just like disrespecting his guests. Like, this is supposed to be a royal, a semi-royal wedding. His wife would have been like a duchess, right? His granddaughter would have been, or his daughter would have been a duchess. And it's just like, I'm serving them shit, and I don't give a fuck what are they gonna do about it. Like, it's so rude. It's so rude. And of course the murders were devastating, the murder to the fetus and Robb. I think that I think throughout the books and the show you get reminded that Robb is just a little boy often.
Yeah.
And in those moments it's just like he just looks so young to me, and that makes it so much sadder, You know, it makes you realize that Catelyn's losing her baby boy, her first baby, and that makes it really sad. And I think for me, the part that I hate the most, because I saw this episode before I read the books, I remember texting Tanya, "What the fuck?" And Tanya was so patient with me. She didn't give it away. She didn't let me know that this was going to happen. She didn't say that Lady Stoneheart was going to be a thing. And I was shocked. And that's why A Storm of Swords is my favorite book in the series. But yeah, I love the episode, but I love the book chapter more.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. I think it did okay for itself. You know, like the shock factor aside, it did okay for itself. It was
I mean, the first 3 seasons are just excellent TV.
They're good TV. Yeah, they're great
10
TV.
out of 10 no notes.
I mean, D&D put their whole Thrones Ussie into like this one because they really wanted to get to that Red Wedding. So
yeah, I mean, this was the biggest TV culture moment, and they did nail it still. Like, we may have our misgivings as book readers and book fans, but like, to your point, Tanya, like, this is excellent TV. This is after Succession, after Game of Thrones, after all these shows, and after the writer's strike, and whatever they do, and whatever AI and BS they embrace, and however they carve out their writing staff, like, you won't get TV like this again. And in the moment and the culture of it, this was a cultural milestone.
Absolutely.
Everyone talked about it. Everyone was talking about it. It's they succeeded. They did.
It's because it's not TV. It's HBO.
Yeah.
Shout out to Succession, which Tanya hasn't watched yet.
I
But
haven't
she's going
watched it
to.
yet. I'm gonna binge it this summer.
I want no. Okay,
you.
wait, no. But if you binge it, please tell us what you think in the group chat.
Yeah, in our
I
group
know
chat.
we're gonna talk about it.
So our
Alright.
plan is, so we're gonna start our Patreon this fall. And our plan is for me to binge it and then record 2 episodes a season.
Amazing.
So do like half the season, talk about it, and the second half.
Oh, okay, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
I'm
I've warned
excited.
her in advance that might not be enough because every episode is an island into itself.
I agree.
Well, I mean, you guys are more than welcome to
Yeah.
talk about Succession with us. I'm the only one who hasn't watched it, so would love
excited.
Rick, you can bring
I
my
am
friend.
yes, you're right. It's
Virginity.
not TV, it's Max.
Oh no.
I'm not calling it that. I'm sorry. I'm not calling it that.
Yeah, you're not our boss.
I'm not calling it that.
Max.
I
What
stopped
is
at
that?
HBO Go.
Someone was saying it is
Yeah.
technically still HBO. It's just like the app that's called Max, and I just I don't understand.
I don't know.
I read somewhere that like it's to make it so that it's a streaming app and not just HBO, and it's like to get around paying residuals.
This is
Yeah.
like Ramsay Snow
Yeah.
trying to convince me he's Ramsay Bolton now. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
Shut
in
up.
Succession, I appreciate that every business deal is a big fish eating a little fish and just how you promote it publicly.
Right. Ladies, tell us what you have coming up next. What's next for you?
Wow, my face is so frozen. I wish I
You're
could tell you.
so frozen. You're so
And it's like
frozen.
it was not an attractive face. I need to go back to hold on. Hopefully if
so
it freezes.
Ladies,
so
tell us what you have
sensitive.
next.
Yeah. Well, we just announced our next POV. We are finishing. So we go POV by POV through Song of Ice and Fire. We only have like 7 POVs left, including epilogues. We're calling that a POV.
Wow.
It's somewhere to come. So spoilers. But our next POV, we just finished airing Greyjoy. We are putting out the
Forsaken.
Yeah, the Forsaken in the Winds of Winter. Is
We
coming
haven't
for
done any
patrons.
spoiler chapters.
Oh,
I've never
I
even
think-
read any.
Me neither.
Well, when you're feeling
We've been avoiding
desperate,
them.
when you're hungry, when you
When
want
we
to
feel
join the
desperate,
dark side.
we go to Stormlight Archive.
Do you want?
It's
You
Not
know,
that
that's
it's the
fair.
desperation.
Is
but,
the-
like,
Or King Killer Chronicles. That was my first stop after my
Is the
desperation
5th one
set it.
coming out soon?
2024.
Oh, that's not far.
Yeah.
I have a
Or
book
it-
recommendation for you
yeah.
too. Also,
Yeah?
when we're done.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah, so we just finished Aaron Greyjoy. We are putting out The Winds of Winter, The Forsaken from Aaron Greyjoy this month for patrons in our $5 and up tier, Stranger tier. And then next month we are starting Melisandre, which is a one and done POV. So that means we have another
and quit
POV. Yeah, we are gonna hit it and quit it with Mel in our dreams, in our lives, etc. And
Unlike Rob Stark.
He hit it, quit life. That boy
He
quit
could've
life.
He
married
could have
it and
saved
then
a lot of
died for
lives.
it.
If he could have saved a lot of lives if he only was just like, I got my nut, but you
Oh
know.
my
whatever.
god. Yeah, and then we have a hefty POV after that. Like it's gonna be a POV that's gonna take a while, and that's really not spoiling a lot because we have a lot of POVs still left. Like 7 left. 7 is still a chunk. And
Mhm.
of the POVs we have left, there's some big names, right? There's a
Yeah.
Cersei out there, a Tyrion, a Dany. There's a John Connington.
Oh, I
There's an
can't wait for the Cersei
epilogues. There's
POVs.
oh, they're gonna be Liddy. They're gonna be real wildfire Liddy, and we'll chat for sure. But yeah, it's gonna be really fun. And Eliana, there's a couple other things we're doing. What else are we doing?
What else are we doing? So we are, of course, resuming our coverage of Sailor Moon Crystal, which is the reboot of the Sailor Moon anime. So we're gonna come back to doing that last week of every month. And this month we are going to have Chika from Shoujo Sunday, and who is also part of Castle Black for the first season of House of the Dragon, joining us to talk about Sailor Moon Crystal season 2. And then I think in the fall we're gonna cover the Secret Commonwealth, which is part of the sequel series of the His Dark Material series, like the Books of Dust.
Mm.
And then I don't know, we'll probably cover other things every now and then, as
We have so much that's like backed
As
up
the
that we're
muse-
like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this.
the
we're
muse
gonna do
strikes us.
Can I ask you real quick?
Oh.
How do you feel about the newly released images from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix new series?
I've only seen
The
some of
live
them.
action.
They look okay. I just like okay. So my take, it's not that hot of a take.
Your
Animation,
lukewarm take.
animation is its own medium. We don't need to make everything live action.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I'm happy for these actors because I never watched the first one because it's like, this is bullshit. But
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
there is no movie in Bossing City.
No, there's no movie. It
I don't
didn't
know what
happen.
M Night was up
That
to
was a
that day because
question for you guys.
sometimes
Terrible.
yes, it will. It absolutely will. You can watch it if
It's
you
a
haven't.
complete reboot of the original. So if you watch it, it's a complete reboot of the original.
It's like, so the original is like 80 miles long, and this cuts those 80 miles down to the hottest, spiciest bits of those miles to like 40 miles maybe. I'd say in half.
Yeah, wait, I have one more thing we're gonna do. We are also going to do, at some point, we are going to cover The Moon Represents My Heart by our friend Pim, hopefully I'm saying her last name right, Wangtachawat, whose book just came out this June. This is what I wanted to recommend to you too.
Yes.
She has written her debut novel called The Moon Represents My Heart about a family of Chinese British time travelers. It's beautiful. It's already been optioned and I think is maybe it's not in production right now because strike.
Development. It's
Development
Mhm.
with Netflix. Gemma Chan is producing it and might be in it.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like
so-
Gemma Chan.
Yeah. It's
Buying
real
this
good.
book immediately.
You're gonna like it a lot.
I think you're gonna like it. I want to hear your thoughts because that's what
It's
I
so
want.
different.
I know you cover a lot of books. So
Oh, we should do it for Wine on an Empty Stomach.
Amazing.
Well, speaking of Wine on an Empty Stomach, our next one is Stormglass.
By Jeff Wheeler.
I don't know it.
Study of the
I'm
Fells.
reading it for the first time.
What
Okay.
is
Yeah.
it
Been
about?
Sometimes for
Set-
what we do is recommend books to each other for Wine on an Empty
Mhm.
Stomach. It's not always books that we both read.
Aw.
So this is one that Nikki recommended for me. So
I love this book. I will say that is the first of a series.
you see what
The
she's
Harbinger
done to me.
series by Jeff Wheeler. But
See what she's done to me like I don't have shit to do.
yeah.
Is it
It's-
finished or is it like is
If
he
the series is finished.
person?
The series is finished,
Okay.
but he like Brandon Sanderson has many series happening within this whole universe. So some of them are prequels, some of them are that happen later, some that happened before. Yes, I love this book. I love this book. I love this series. Jeff Wheeler is really interesting to me as an author, but particularly in this series, every book has a moment that actually made me cry. And I didn't
Really?
expect that because I'm not a crier in the books, really. Even though I just said I cried for Star Wars, but it was tragic. But yes, every book in this series had a moment that actually had tears coming down from my eyes. I love his characters. I feel like he writes women really well, and both of the two protagonists are heroes of the story. And yeah, there's ghosts and there's intrigue and there's like mystery and magic that's only accessible to, the higher classes and stuff. So yeah, absolutely worth it. I cannot wait for Tanya to get through like the initial scary parts to get to the good stuff.
Okay.
All right. So that's what's next for us.
Okay.
I'm excited. When does your Patreon launch?
Yeah.
So our plan is
We
to
have a
launch it in
date.
September. September 15th,
Okay,
I think
okay.
is the date.
Yeah.
We have to start. We're trying to like record things in advance, because we're gonna do stuff that we're not gonna release on the podcast regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're still working on it, making sure we have enough content. And we also want to set up a wait list so that it's not like one person waiting for other people to join. That'd be weird.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
That's how we started.
Yeah.
We had a
good.
free
Sounds
period.
good.
Yeah. We had
Smart.
free period. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to find your rhythm with whatever you want to put out, like how you put out your
Yeah.
special content and, how much I got to pay to get in the door so I can get that special content. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, my credit card's in my
$100
pocket.
million.
Yeah, we
Ladies,
people
you're
will-
worth it. You're
yeah.
worth it. You're so worth it.
we're waiting for people to start paying us one person. If you pay us $8,000 a month, we will stop doing our podcast.
No. If you pay me $8,000, I will stop.
Oh.
You have to get your own 8,000. You've never said it yourself. I say it. So I mean, now you need to say it legally that you want your own.
Double or nothing, guys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, double down. Annie up, ma'am up. She's mamming up. There she goes.
But first, Thousand Eyes in One Patreon.
Yeah, that's your first goal. You got to go there September 15th.
Quarter 3 and 4.
Q3,
Ooh,
Q4.
I would like that.
Oh.
I don't think I'd
Literary
hate it. I'm not that into vampires, but I'm willing
I
to
am.
give vampires a chance.
Okay.
I'm
Interesting.
willing to give vampires a chance.
I like
don't
how you
hate
both had different reactions to that, though.
I'm a big
Nikki
vampire
has
fan.
strong sexual feelings. about
Yeah, I
vampires.
can tell.
Do I
heard
love
the
Vampire
tone.
Diaries? Maybe.
Oh, I
Oh my
love the
God.
Vampire Diaries.
Chloe got me into Vampire Diaries like last year or something. I haven't finished yet. It was
It's a
fun.
ride. It's a ride. I do think, we like to look at it as like, I think Nikki and Chloe are the Nikki and Chloe of the podcast, and then Tanya and Eliana. I think like there's. you guys
Is
are,
it
like,
just because we have
secret.
glasses? Just because I have fucking bad eyesight doesn't mean like
No,
Eyesight discrimination.
it's Nikki's
So-
brazenness, and then Nikki and I are like
there is a con for
bang a
Vampire
vampire.
Diaries, just so you guys know. I'll send you the
Wow.
link.
Mystic Con. Is that
Did
the
you
one
read
that's
the
about?
books? Because
Yeah.
I haven't read them.
I
read
haven't
them
read
as a
them. I've
book.
only watched the show, but I think
Yeah.
I'll add them to my list too.
I will say
Speaking
the
of
show
cons,
is better.
go ahead.
The show's better.
Sorry, I'm prolonging. We're prolonging.
And I'm not
this
reading them.
stream.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm emptying my bottle. We did it.
Yes.
Yes, you did it. I'm so proud of
It's,
you.
it's all in this little.
I
Tupperware.
did mine, but I'm finishing the bonus one with you right now.
Don't forget
This
to
is the
drink
bonus.
water, please.
Yeah, don't forget
I
to
do
drink
have water right here.
Good.
It's over.
Speaking of cons, I'll be at New York Comic Con this fall.
Oh, you
Oh,
will.
Mhm.
Okay.
So if anybody will be
Interesting.
there, by all means, find me, and we can.
there's
Yeah,
a
kick
chance
it.
I'll find you.
What we do in the
I was
shadows.
seeing if my friend
Yes.
Tanda was doing it. Oh, I do love what we do in the show.
I'll be there all 4 days because I
Okay.
go as
Oh, shit.
I go as a pro on a pro pass.
Awesome.
Because
And
of
I'm
my
going to go
secret
for the
job.
very first time. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a
my third
possibility.
time.
so.
I only just meet people who happen to be attending. I never I'm like, come meet with me because we happen to be. I never attend. So it sells out fast.
It
Does
does.
sell it very fast.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. Like I said, this will be my third time attending.
Oh, nice.
And I have an idea for cosplay to do one of the days, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I was actually thinking of going as a Dora Milaje and dressing my son as a Black Panther for the Sunday Kids Day.
Yeah.
But now I have 2 kids, so I gotta figure that out.
it's 3 costumes.
Yeah, I might leave one behind.
Dang.
No offense to Grimlock, but his memories are not that long.
Nothing but respect.
You have to do it before he can actively hold grudges.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he is like the leader of a mafia.
But he has a sibling, so the sibling's going to tell him, well, this one time what
Yeah.
mom did to you.
We don't have that problem, Chloe and I. We have different problems.
We have very different.
My husband's an only child too.
Is he left-handed?
Yes.
You want to be? Granted, he's not a
Wait,
woman, so I don't
wait,
know. I don't
but-
know.
2?
Yeah, we're both left-handed.
How?
Oh, you're left-handed, but you're not an only child. I can't
No, I'm
break
not
it.
an only
It
child.
has to be all three. The dragon must have 3 heads, and it's
Yeah.
like the 3 criteria. Woman. Well, yeah, that's
Fire sign? Wait, fire sign? Fire sign?
Yeah, wait. What are
Fire.
Yeah, we talked
Fire.
about
Wait, we
fire. Fire. That was the
fire
similarity.
signs. We're all
Yeah.
fire signs. Yeah.
Again, kin.
Yeah.
We're all August Leos, right?
Oh
Except
wait,
me.
actually,
No.
I forgot. One of you actually has the exact same birthday as me.
Yes.
Nikki does.
There you
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm April. I'm built different.
Oh, Aries.
She's an Aries.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're
I
all
love
Leos.
Aries.
So we're the
Is
three
it
of us
my-
are August Leos.
Oh my God.
Bullheaded, you know. Yep. But I got my August cruise.
You know what?
Can
with
you
our
highlight
sunny-
Warren Dudson's?
Yeah.
What
comment?
Warren
with-
say? Oh no. Warren
Us with our
knows.
sunny personalities. Hey, Warren was there that night.
Warren was there. You met this man.
Oh,
You've
I don't
all met.
remember.
You've
We
met
were
He's the
drinking
Irish
and breaking
one.
bottles.
He's the
Oh,
Irish
yeah. I do remember you.
Yeah.
That is Warren. That's
Hi,
Warren.
Warren.
He's great.
Hi,
Lauren's
Lauren.
great.
Nice to see you again.
Yes, EC. Well,
All right.
gosh.
Well, we're gonna leave the stream now because
Yeah.
we're 45 minutes over time.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Ethan.
Oh, no, this
it's
is
been
great.
For inviting us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
thank
this
you
is
for
we love
having us.
you.
We love you guys
had a
too.
great time.
We
So
do.
excited to have you.
Don't hang up. I'm just gonna end the stream, but don't hang
Oh,
up.
we'll be
I
here.
know.
Don't worry.
I know.
We're still here.
Thank you guys
Bye.
again for watching and for all your comments and all the fun stuff. And I hope you all dream of eating dragon booty tonight. Love you.
Dragon rib.
Bye.